Hello, everyone. Thank you for viewing my capstone presentation. My name is Megan Callista, and I'm a kindergarten teacher at Cliffendale Elementary School, which is part of Fulton County Schools. This capstone took place during my time working towards my specialist degree in instructional technology at KSU. The title of my capstone project is the implementation of ebooks to increase early literacy skills. The objective of the capstone project was to increase the number of K-2 teachers who effectively utilize ebooks to differentiate literacy instruction to improve early literacy skills. When the capstone project began, approximately 50% of students at the school were able to read above grade level, which led to the school's current strategic plan, which has a goal that by 2022, 85% of third graders will read at or above grade level, thus making the K-2 students the target population. Furthermore, the administrative team also expressed concerns regarding how students and teachers were using iPads in the classroom, thus leading to a capstone project that aligns to the strategic plan and the effective use of technology. After research, I realized that ebooks were one way to do this. To begin with, research indicates the importance of including culturally responsive and differentiated text to increase literacy scores. Thus, the implementation of ebooks during literacy instruction increases access to both on-level text and texts that are culturally relevant anytime, anywhere. Furthermore, ebooks promote literacy skills by extending connections and increasing engagement through electronic features and tools. Such tools and features include note-taking, highlighting, stamping, and drawing. The ebook features and tools can also increase motivation by engaging several senses simultaneously during the reading process. The increase in motivation and engagement is especially beneficial for struggling readers. However, research also indicates the most significant improvement occurs when the student receives adult scaffolding and support when engaging with the ebook. Due to these research-based benefits, I planned for the implementation of ebooks to increase early literacy skills between January 2019 and May 2019. In January, the goal was to increase awareness and interest in ebooks, and to identify the ebook program to be used. In February, it was the goal to assess student reading levels and complete the first workshop focused on the implementation of ebook logistics and code planning. In March, the second workshop occurred, which focused on how to use ebooks to differentiate instruction. In April, the focus was on the continued implementation and support through ongoing coaching. In May, the final assessment of implementation and student reading levels occurred. During the entire process of the project, evaluations occurred to monitor progress. The first evaluation occurred with the administration of a survey to evaluate the participants' current usage and interest level in ebooks. There were 16 potential participants. The initial goal was to get at least 50% of the participants to sign up voluntarily. The second objective was to select an ebook program that would be used. After learning about the different types of ebook programs, the teachers completed a survey to share their opinion. The teachers selected between Raz Kids, Epic, and HMH Reader. The third objective was to increase teacher knowledge of student reading levels using the benchmark assessment system. The goal was for 100% of teachers to complete the BAS and upload it to the Illuminate data platform. The fourth objective was to increase teachers' basic knowledge of Raz Kids ebooks. After 2 weeks from completing the first workshop in February, I shared a survey to monitor the teachers' progress towards implementing ebooks during literacy instruction. It was the expectation that at least 20% of the participants would be utilizing ebooks for literacy during instruction daily. The fifth objective was focused on planning and implementing the use of ebooks to provide differentiated instruction. One evaluation of teachers' ability to provide differentiated instruction with ebooks was by reviewing submitted lesson plans. Another teacher evaluation source was the use of an ebook reading rubric, which encompassed all of the effective components of an ebook lesson. It was the goal that at least 50% of teachers would be able to effectively plan and implement the Raz Kids ebook program to differentiate instruction. The sixth objective was focused on the final evaluation of the implementation of ebooks. First, the final observation evaluation occurred, then the assessment of student reading levels, and then finally a feedback survey. Now we will discuss the capstone experience and results. The first step of the capstone occurred in January and had a focus on identifying the participants and increasing their interest and awareness in ebooks. To reach my goal of recruiting 50% of potential participants, I held a large group meeting and shared a PowerPoint explaining the research-based benefits, the implementation process, and the experience expectations. At the conclusion of the initial meeting, the teachers completed an interest survey. The survey results revealed at least 67% of teachers wanted to participate, which surpassed the initial goal. At the end of January, I facilitated another meeting that was focused on selecting the ebook program. To do this, I created a PowerPoint with the teachers so they could learn about the different types of ebook programs. The teachers then completed a survey. The results from the survey indicated that 50% of the teachers wanted to use the RazKids ebook program. Thus, ebooks was the selected program for use. In early February, after identifying the participants and selecting the ebook program, the next activity was for 100% of teachers to assess student reading levels using the BAS system. Since the third activity aligned with ongoing procedures of the school, the workshop was canceled and instead coaching sessions occurred. Furthermore, the teachers had access to a reference guide that provided digital directions on how to enter the BAS data on the Elluminate data platform. As a result, 100% of teachers submitted the BAS reading data in a timely manner, thus reaching our goal. In late February, the first workshop occurred that was focused on the implementation of RazKids. The first workshop took place during a 90-minute PLC and included logistical objectives such as setting up the class and student portfolios, guidance on how to access and assign ebooks, an exploratory period with the features of RazKids, and a development of initial plan for introducing RazKids in the classroom. Additionally, co-planning on how to implement and manage the technology program occurred. At the end of the workshop, the teachers got a QR code linking to a blend space of resources for later reference. It was the expectation that at least 20% of the participants would utilize ebooks for literacy instruction daily after the first workshop. After 2 weeks, the teacher took the implementation survey. The results include that 70% of the teachers were comfortable using the ebooks, 70% had made accounts for their student, 60% had introduced the program, 18% needed additional support. Furthermore, 27% of participants indicate that they use ebooks daily during literacy instruction, thus reaching our goal. The second workshop occurred at the beginning of March and was focused on differentiated instruction that incorporated the ebooks. It was the goal that at least 50% of teachers would effectively plan and implement RazKids ebooks to differentiate instruction. The second workshop began by reviewing the difference between guided and strategy groups and how it differs using the eBooks platform. Next, the teacher evaluated each portion of the eBook lesson plan template. And they were asked to review the guided and strategy group rubrics. Once the teacher reviewed the rubrics, they then had the opportunity to watch a model lesson and evaluate it using the rubrics. During the following weeks after the second workshop, the teachers were asked to submit lesson plans to evaluate their current level of planning and implementation of ebooks during literacy instruction. By the deadline in April, 50% of teachers were providing some evidence of using RazKids to provide differentiated experiences. Another teacher evaluation source was an informal walkthrough using the ebook reading rubric as a guide, which encompassed all of the effective components of an ebook lesson. Using the rubric to evaluate teachers during the observation revealed that 30% of teachers were effectively implementing ebooks to improve literacy skills. 10% of teachers were doing it on the exemplary level and 50% of teachers on the developing level. Therefore, it became evident that teachers were able to plan but not actually implement ebooks. Based on the lesson plans and the walkthroughs, the teachers were provided personalized and ongoing feedback and support. The participating teachers engaged in coaching experiences with modeling, co-planning, and co-teaching. At the end of April, the teachers engaged in a walkthrough evaluation using the components outlined in the rubric. By the second walkthrough, the data included that the number of teachers demonstrating the proficient level was increasing. Therefore, the coaching strategies were effective and they should be continued. Although there were a total of 3 observations using the rubrics, the evaluation of lesson plans occurred weekly. Based on the data from the lesson plan tracker, there was a continuous increase in the number of teachers who consistently plan lessons using ebooks. In May, the final evaluation of teachers' current implementation level was evaluated using submitted lesson plans and completing walkthroughs. The data indicated that 80% of teachers had completed a lesson plan that provided evidence of utilizing eBooks, thus indicating that there was a 30% increase in the teachers who demonstrated their ability to plan proficiently. The walkthrough data indicated that 60% of teachers were proficiently implementing eBooks to improve literacy skills. Therefore, there's a 20% increase in the number of proficient teachers. The results met the initial goal of 50% of teachers proficiently implementing eBooks. Next, the student reading levels were reevaluated using the BAS. The BAS data can be compared with those teachers who did not participate or the previous data. According to the results, overall, the students of the teachers who did implement eBooks in the classroom had a higher achievement than those who didn't, therefore surpassing the goal of 50% improvement on the BAS. To conclude the project, a final feedback survey was administered. The feedback survey provided insights into the opinions of the participants and indicated that 70% of the participants will continue to use eBooks in the classroom, and 70% of the teacher participants agree that eBooks are useful for increasing literacy skills. The most valuable insight came from the short answers. For the teacher's favorite part, many agreed it was about learning about the RazKids app. On the other hand, multiple teachers indicated they did not like completing or submitting the lesson plans weekly. While the data indicates success, there were some challenges. The first challenge arose by having participants volunteer. To begin with, although the voluntary process of becoming a participant did help secure participants that were motivated, it also decreased the number of potential participants that may have engaged. In repeating this experience in the future, a solution could be possibly recruiting the teachers using a one-on-one discussion. Another potential barrier was the cost of the ebook program. RazKids requires an annual subscription for all classrooms using the program. Thus, securing appropriate funding is necessary. Another barrier was the diversity of the teacher participants. The teachers had diversity in their ability to use technology and their interest in using ebooks. Therefore, individualized coaching and support was used to support the diverse needs. Furthermore, in repeating this project, I believe there should be an increase in frequency of feedback. While surveys were used throughout the process to gather the participants' feedback of needs and opinions, there should have been an increase in solicitation of opinions throughout the entire process of the project. And knowing the information earlier in the project process, the plan and process would have been more appropriate and adjustments could have been made. Therefore, a solution is to increase the number of feedback opportunities. Although there were some barriers, there were also several successes. The most significant success was the overall data results. Upon reflecting, I believe my success is due to my fundamental instructional technology knowledge, skills, and dispositions and the implementation of strategies that aligned with the Georgia PSC instructional technology standards. Strategies such as facilitating technology-infused professional learning opportunities, the modeling of best practices, and the access to online support, references, and guides are all examples of how strategies align with the PSC. Finally, it's time to give credit where credit is due. All images were either taken by me or were licensed under Creative Commons. Other copyrighted references are seen here. The specifics for each reference are shown throughout the video. Thanks so much for watching!